when it comes to character development, you know, one of the things that John Hendricks, our creative director, does is that let's talk about, let's say, I'm way bringing forward in the Hytale now, the Quebecs. Why Quebec,
Mm.
right? Go back to the question, why do they exist, right? What are their motivations as a society? Do they have societal motivations? Where do they live? What do they look like? What do they like to do when they're not just being Quebecs, right? And all that stuff. And like we have mural boards that are just crazy, like the
Oh, I
hugest
could
whiteboard
imagine.
you ever see, right? And from those you derive, things like their life cycle, and you derive um what they find compelling, what they're afraid of, every little aspect of the personalities, right? To a point, right? There's like, does a player, and always the question is, does a player really need to know that, or how easy is it going for us to show the player that this
Mm.
is a facet of the Quebec? And then we point out to kind of, okay, let's talk about this. Go back to their life cycle scheme. So, what does a baby Quebec? What behaviors does it exhibit, and so on and so forth. I'm not giving away anything because it's an awesome product. Like, hats off to John Hendricks. He's created a really inclusive sort of process where a lot of our guys are pulled together. And it doesn't matter if you're a designer or you're an ops or you're a recruiter or you're the finance guy. Everybody comes in and they just put their ideas down. And John kind of goes through it, and then with the designers, they kind of decant it and break it down, and calls it the crocodile mouth because crocodile mouth's wide, right? And everybody's at the start, everybody's in part of it, and then the teeth come down. So
Yeah.
they bring it out, we open it up, bring it down, open it
Mm.
up, bring it down, until it comes back to that point. And it's just a beautiful process, and it gives great ownership to the team over a lot of stuff that we're doing. And now we're seeing, an evolution of our characters, and they're more grounded than they were before, and their environments are richer, and it's just beautiful, man, beautiful.
Yeah. It really is. And as you said, it's so interesting that something I doubt a lot of people think about is all of the different people involved in a project like this and from different parts. Like you said, finance guys, right? And then artists and the technical guys.
I'll give you, like, we one of the things that we had to kind of look really closely at ourselves about was our team structure, right? Hightail is a huge undertaking. It's massive, right? And we don't want to make it any smaller than we believe it should be, right?
Hmm.
So we're going to make a team that we are, well, yeah, they're excellent. We're going to make the team that's going to be able to deliver this, right? But in order to do so, you have to restructure your company. Because at the very start, I wasn't the head of content, which was all the art, all the design, all the creativity stuff, right? And I had a gentleman called Radislav, who's in charge of all the technical stuff. Basically, two producers, right? Managing the two pillars of the
Hmm.
development. Every person we talked to who'd been round the block, including Riot, right? That's no secret that we obviously have been acquired by Riot. They said, your project is huge. You're going to need to scale. The model that you have for your business will not scale. So what we did was we split our effort into what we call disciplines, right? Creative is a discipline, but within creative, you have art, animation, audio, design, UI. And within each of those, you have sub-disciplines, right? So in
Hmm.
art, you have concept art, you have modeling,
Yeah.
so on and so forth, and they're all managed in that way. And then if you go over to tech, right, you'll have our technical director who looks after everything there. But then you'll have things like DevOps, right, services. You have AI, you have rendering, you have the
Hmm.
agent core tech, all that.
Yeah.
You can break it down together so we can actually manage the effort, right? So there, and then you have operations, which I'm now running, right? Um, soon to get back on the product, woohoo! But so in operations, you have finance, you have recruitment, you have HR, you have technical operations, well, managing all our licenses and things like that there, and then of course business strategy and stuff. So yeah, the jobs and the diversity of the effort that's required to make a game is staggering,
Hmm.
staggering.